What is going on, fellow Actitos? So, obviously, I got my Acty here behind me, and also the ducks are swarming the tent here. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're quacking. Pretty excited right now. So, I haven't really done a whole lot to this van other than obviously putting the Easy K fully adjustable coilovers on, and that's pretty much it. I haven't done a whole lot to this van because obviously it doesn't really need it. Hi, Patito. I see your little leggies. But I figured I have some new parts in the OK Garage parts store online, and I can see the little beaks poking through the bottom there. And so I thought I would put a set on my Acty and show how to do it. You certainly don't need to buy the parts from me, but this video will be helpful if you want to do rotors and pads for the front of your Honda Acty. And they're all the same HA 90 to 98. They're all the same, I'm pretty sure, as far as the process of changing the rotors and pads. But the rotors I have are slotted and dimple holed. Now, the rotors on the Actys are slightly different than the sandbars. The sandbars are vented rotors, so your typical, looks like an Oreo sandwich cookie almost. You got your two flat surfaces, and then the inside is essentially hollow with some vents. The Acty rotors are just solid, which are kind of like on some cars, the rear rotors are just solid, and then the fronts are usually vented. But Acty just decided to not have vented rotors, which is a little strange, but I guess I don't really need it per se because they're very small. So let's take a look at the rotors. So these are the rotors that I got. They are dimpled and slotted and solid, which is okay, and very small. Tiny rotors, but we're going to be doing rotors and new pads on the van. Like I said, doesn't really need it. These rotors are pretty much brand new. I mean, this van's only got 6,000 kilometers on it now, but I figured we add a little flair because you can kind of see the rotors through the wheels. So this will look cool with some fancy rotors. And again, I will have these styles on my website for sale, or if you're not, or if you just want to do regular rotors, this video will help you installing your rotors and pads. So let's get to it. So first things first, we'll get the front end jacked up a little bit so we can get the wheels off. And your jack point on your Acty is the center part of the control arms. Pretty hard to miss. But I'll just show a picture just in case you're curious. Right there on the flat spot between the two control arms, that's where you're going to want to jack up on. Also had a few questions about the surface I'm working on. Yes, these are stall mats, horse stall mats from Tractor Supply. They're like 6x4, I think. They fit perfect in the back of your Acty or your sandbar little K truck. It's just like the perfect size. And just so I'm not working on top of rocks, I have these all laid down, and I've been getting asked quite a few times where these are from or what they are. So yes, horse stall mats from Tractor Supply. All right, so we got that jacked up. I'll go ahead and put some jack stands underneath the steering stabilizers for a little added safety, and then we'll get the wheels off. Okay, got the wheel. We'll go ahead and take a second to admire the fully adjustable coilovers from Easy Case. Very nice. Everything's holding up great. Yeah, so real easy. We will take the caliper off, which is, I think they're probably 16 or 17 or 18 mils back here. There's two on the top, one on the bottom, one on the top, and then these two Phillips heads, which we might need our JIS hand impact. That will take our rotor off, so let's get the caliper off first. Okay, so it is a 17 mil. We'll take the bottom one off. And these suckers are usually pretty tight, so you might need to bust out the big. Well, that wasn't too bad. Big Rachito. And then we'll get the top one off. Careful not to swing up into your paint. Okay, so this will unbolt your caliper, which means you might want to find something to set it on top of. For example, we'll just set it up on top of the jack stand. Now this will give us full access to the rotor, Rotero. Okay, there you go. Be careful, don't want to mess that up. Certainly don't want to mess that up. Okay. Now, these are JIS. I'm pretty sure there's going to be JIS Phillip head style screws. So I'll get my hand impact and we'll pop those off since they are pretty big. Okay. Got my JIS. Let's see if we can. Oh, that one's pretty loose. And then we'll get this one. There we go. Not bad. And then it might be stuck on there. Let's see. Oh, no. Not bad at all. There we go. There is our stock rotor. I mean, that thing's like brand new. There's not even any, there isn't any lip from wear on that, but whatever. I'm going to take a brush, a little steel brush, kind of brush the surface up a little bit and get it, I mean, it's not really messed up at all. But if it was super rusty, you might want to clean that surface up before you put your new rotor on. But I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick before we put the new rotors on. Oh, hold on, buddy. We're going to have our inspector here today, Mr. Golden Guy. Put your wing in, bud. Put your wing in. Buddy. You're okay, bud. Are you going to make sure my work is done? There you go. Tuck your wing in. Sometimes I got to save this guy from Snowflake because Snowflake likes to bully him. You okay, bud? You can hang out with me. It's okay. Hey! Hey, Robin, come here, bud. Come here. Oh my gosh. Okay, buddy, you want to hang out here? You can hang out here. That's fine. You hang out right here. There you go, bud. You're okay. All right, now we're going to put this rotor on. So we need to make sure that we get our holes lined up properly. So obviously our flanged style holes go into the screws. Hi, buddy. You're okay. You can hang out here if you want. You're all right, bud. Robin, you want to hang out over here, bud? Don't you be pooping in here. Actito. Okay. Dang. You guys reunited? All right. Get those tight. All right. Rotors have been installed. My word, that's so easy. And now we'll reinstall the calipers just to make it easier to do the brake pads. So let's see if we can get these to slide on. Yep. Put these back. Get those nice and tight. Don't want those coming loose. now let's do the brake pads. So then we'll just release one of these. We'll do the bottom one, and we'll flip the caliper up, and then we can take the brake pads out. So those look like they're probably a 12 millimeter. So go get that. All right, so 12 millimeter, and you got to do the bottom one, because if you try to do the top one, the brake line's gonna pull on you. So we'll take out the bottom post bolt. And that should allow us to swing this up. There we go. And here are the brake pads. So we'll just slide them out. My word. I kind of feel bad for changing them because ain't nothing wrong with them. Whatever. I don't know if they're Honda pads or not. They don't say anything. Okay, so we'll take my new pads. And the new pads will come with squealers, so you want to make sure you put the squealer on the inside so you don't damage your rotor on the outside. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of wear. So then these just literally slide right back in. And take one with without the squealer, and then put that. Slide that sucker in. There we go. Let's see, do we even need to redo the piston? Yes, we do, just a little bit. Okay, so we got to press that piston back in. So it's good to have a like the brake tool, and it's got one end that you'll push up against an old pad, so you don't push up against the piston and mess anything up. So we'll go ahead and push this back in. And this would be a good time to check your brake fluid and make sure we don't get any spillage. Kind of clean it if it's dirty. You don't want getting any dirt into your reservoir. And we're going to make sure that we don't overflow. Looks like we got plenty of room to push some fluid back. So let's go ahead and make sure you can see that. I'm pushing the puck back in. Piston or the puck, whatever you want to call it. And we're still okay. All right. That's as far as it can go. Perfect. Perfect. We'll put that back in. And if you got a really old, worn out Acty, it might be good to... I'm not having any issues with the brake sticking, but what you can do is you can take this whole part of the caliper off and take these slide posts out and clean and grease them. You just got to push the seal back in, but let's see. Yeah, you can pull this part out and re-grease. Mine aren't getting hung up or anything, but if they're getting hung up and stuck, that'll cause your caliper to get stuck with the brakes on. So you can pull these off. The seal, this rubber boot's probably just sitting on something, so you just have to push it back on, and you can clean and re-grease that with like a super high temp grease or anti-seize or something. We'll tighten that down, okay? So fluid drop back down a little bit. And solid. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll take some brake cleaner, spray down the rotor, and get it all cleaned up, and I'll put the wheel back on. All right. So I think the camera was looking off when I was trying to show something, but you can take these boots off around this like guide pin post here, the slide part, and if it's getting stuck, if your calipers are getting hung up, you can take this off. This boot will pull off of whatever it's attached to on this part of the caliper, and then you can re-grease and clean and re-grease essentially that post inside there, and that will help allow the brake caliper to slide back and forth nice and freely. So got that tightened back up because I just released that one. I didn't touch this one. New pads are in. Brake cleaned. The rotor. So we will put the wheel back on and we'll be good to go on this side. All right, well, that is how you do your front rotor on your Acty with new brake pads. I didn't get too in depth with taking apart the caliper and re-greasing stuff because I didn't really need to do that on mine, but it's very simple. Take the boot off, re-grease, clean stuff, and always check the puck or the piston, caliper piston or the puck seal, and make sure that's clean because you don't want dirt getting inside there because that'll get the puck or the piston hung up inside the caliper, and that will cause a sticky caliper as well for your brakes basically to kind of stay on when you let off the brake pedal. I'm only going to do this one side because the other side is exactly the same. Very, very, very extremely easy to do rotors and extremely easy to do brake pads. I thought I would just show you guys how to do it and the cool rotors that I have for sale. Are they going to add performance? Probably not. Are they going to look cool? Totally. Basically just for looks. But always, check your rotor and your pads. The rotor has a minimum width of 10 millimeters. So if your rotors are looking worn out, get a caliper and check the width of the rotor. Minimum thickness is 10 millimeter. And when you get to that point, it is time to change your rotors. You definitely don't want to crack these and not be able to stop. So that's always good, just to inspect your stuff while you're down there too. Make sure everything's all hunky-dory. And yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, okgarage.com. I got all my parts on there. Or if you already got your parts from Japan and you're trying to install them, hopefully this video was helpful. Thanks for hanging in there with me while I was protecting my patito from his bully, his arch nemesis, Snowflake. And yeah, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff if you feel like it. Really helps me out a lot, and hoping to get the channel to grow even more this year. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is something on the sandbar. So I got a tonneau cover for the back of the sandbar that Subaru made factory, so can't wait to install that. I'll do a little video on that just to show you that that part does exist. So if you happen to find one in Japan, get it, because they're very rare and they look pretty cool when they're inside. But yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.